You might think that if you put money into a bank, that the bank will have your money, but that's not exactly how it works. So in the UK and most other developing countries, when you put in £100 for example, the bank only really needs to keep about £10 in the actual vault. And the rest of the 90% is how they make their business. They put this money into investing, into giving out loans, and generally trying to build their wealth in a number of different assets. So what happens when everyone tries to withdraw the money at once? Now this is what you call a bank run. So a bank run is when people lose faith in the banking system, not necessarily because of a big financial crisis, but people lose faith in the system and they want to withdraw all their money, all the assets that the bank holds in a liquid form, for example, cash or gold. And then what follows is a really bad spiral of events. First of all, the bank doesn't have enough cash reserves to actually pay out all these people, and then some of them file for bankruptcy and they close down, and then this has a series of cascading events, meaning that other banks are defaulting and eventually it can lead to an economic collapse. And so why am I talking about a bank run now? So the economic situation in China is quite dire. Some experts are saying that China is only days away from having its economy completely collapse. And this is because bank run is actually happening in some areas of China. There's been lots of great videos that are linked down below that actually really explain what's happening in China, but I want to go into that in detail. But basically what's happening is that the bank did some really dodgy stuff with people's money. So instead of putting them into the bank and actually putting into a safe place, they actually used a lot of this deposit to invest in risky businesses. And because the pandemic came and a lot of supply chains weren't working, they ended up not being able to make a lot of these investments and they lost a lot of money. The figure stands somewhere around 6 billion. Basically what that means is they froze people's accounts. People were not allowed to withdraw their life savings. Some people weren't allowed to even withdraw a single penny. This left the Chinese public to lose faith in the system, and once the faith in the system is lost, the whole economy can very quickly collapse. So I actually have thousands of pounds invested in Chinese companies, and right now it's not looking good at all. Some of my holdings are down 90%. Also, there is fear that some of these Chinese companies such as Alibaba will be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange, and that could mean that the value of the stock would plummet. And now Chinese stocks have been speculated for a while now that they might delist from the New York Stock Exchange, and that hasn't happened, but fears are all-time high now, especially with the bank runs going on in China. And why am I talking about China? You might be thinking, we're in the West, we're so far from China, why does that matter? This is because the entire financial banking system relies on trust. If people stop trusting the financial systems, they can collapse very, very quickly. Same thing with the stock market. If someone believes that there is value in Apple, believes there is value in Tesla, they will continue buying shares. But if massive negative news came out about these companies and every investor lost trust in the system, then Apple will be worthless, same with Tesla. For example, China is the second largest economy in the entire world, just under the United States of America. If China collapses, all other nations are very likely to follow suit. People will lose faith in the banking system, people will try to withdraw all their money, people will no longer spend money in the economy, and that spells disaster. So I hope this has answered what exactly is bank run and why we should be worried. And the moral of the story is you must remain trusted with the banking systems. Unfortunately, we are at the mercy of our banking systems. It's not viable to keep lots of gold and cash because we can lose that. Everyone has money in the banks, everyone has some sort of credit. So if we all lose our minds now, we could end up ruining it for all of us. It's a negative feedback loop, a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe the banks don't have enough money, eventually they will not have enough money. But right now, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I talk a lot about finance and how you can improve your life using finance. And as always, thank you for watching.